I love reading. I guess they were a big deal at one point around here. I don't know why, I just do. I'm Suck Marionette, doing business as Bargain Counter Argument, and I'm a middle-aged lady in a tiara talking about books, and today, libraries. As you can see from the title of the video, I'm talking about Passport to Connecticut Libraries, which is a kind of a program that encourages people, residents of Connecticut, to visit the different libraries in the state and see what they have to offer. Not every library in the state is participating, but most are this year, and it's for the month of April, and we get this little piece of paper. Well, it's not little. It says Passport to Connecticut Libraries, and it folds out, and you have all of these spaces where you can go to a different libraries, I should say, and get it stamped. And I've been to a few already. And they stamp your passport, you see what they have to offer, and they frequently will give you just like a little gift. Sometimes a more substantial gift, depending on what they're doing. So the thing about Connecticut libraries is that if you live in the state of Connecticut, which is not geographically large, we are the third smallest state in the Union. We're about a little over 5,000 square miles, and we're densely populated. We have like something like 3.75 million people within that 5,000 square miles, and because of the density, the population density, you can take your library card. You get your library card in the town where you live, and then you can take it to any library in the state of Connecticut, any public library in the state of Connecticut, and use it to check out books. And you can return those books to any library in the state of Connecticut, any public library in the state of Connecticut, and they will find their way back to the library whence they came. So it's a nice feature of living in Connecticut. I understand that California has started doing that, which is amazing considering just how geographically large California is, in addition to having a very large population. It's very, Anyway, so I picked it up at Russell Library in Middletown, which is my home library, and they stamped it for me, and they got me started, and they had an assortment of cute little stickers to pick. So I picked this one. Hopefully you can see it. It is a chicken reading a book and wearing a little sign that says, "Cluck if you love reading." Cluck, cluck, I love reading. So, and they also gave me a coupon for $2 at the next Friends of the Library sale, which is in June. So I have a $2 coupon for that. And then that same day, this is my mom and I went there, and she got a sticker that's like a dog reading a book. She put it on her phone. And then we went to Durham Public Library, which is another one we go to a lot because it's the town immediately south of us, and it's pretty easy to get to. We got our stamp, pretty treat, but we didn't take the swag. The swag was a Durham Public Library branded pencil, and we're not really pencil people, and we have plenty of pencils from last time we did Passport to Connecticut Libraries, so we just let them keep those. And then this past Monday, today, as I'm recording it, it's Wednesday, April 15th. Happy Tax Day for those of you who celebrate. And so we went Monday, and I wanted to go to Meriden Public Library, which is immediately in a town immediately adjacent to mine. They're not participating in the Passport to Public Libraries because they're in the middle of migrating from one computer system to another, so it was just like one more thing that they just didn't want to deal with. They have in the past, though. However, I did check out a couple of books there. I wanted to go there because they were the only local library that had As the Devil Dares by Anna Harrington, which is the book club pick for Tea and Biscuits this month. So I wanted to pick that up so I could read that. However, they have their own permanent public Friends of the Library bookstore, and I may have picked up some stuff there. I'll talk about that after I talk about the other libraries I went to. That'll be toward the end of the video. Then we went to the Wethersfield Public Library. If you ever read Witch of Blackbird Pond, that was set in Wethersfield, Connecticut, I think in colonial times. I read it a long time ago. Don't remember it all that well. And because they have a seed company that is headquartered in Wethersfield, Charles C. Hart Seed Company. They provided the library with seed packets, which they gave away to people who got their little passports stamped. And I got Lupin. I don't remember what my mother got. It wasn't Lupin, though. She got another flower. And they also had attached to them a magnetic bookmark, which is branded with the Wethersfield Public Library logo. So that was cool. And then we went to Rocky Hill, which was the first library I ever used in Connecticut, because we lived there for like 6 months while we went house hunting before we moved here to Middletown. And in fact, I got my library card before I got to the apartment my mother had already set up for us. So anyway, because it's Rocky Hill, they had some fancy rocks, and I got this little purple, I guess that's quartz. And I think my mom ended up selecting a purple quartz as well. So Rocky Hill, fancy rock, get it? And then we went to Cromwell Public Library, where they gave us these coffee mugs, which are very cool. It says Heart CBPL, Cromwell Belden Public Library, because it's named for somebody called Belden. Rocky Hill Library is also named for a Belden, but it's a different Belden. I guess they were a big deal at one point around here. So that's the stuff I got. I also ended up checking out a lot of books, which I'm going to do in a different video. I'll talk about those in a different video. But I will talk about the books I purchased at the Friends of the Library sale. The permanent bookstore that they have at the Meriden one. Now, one of the books was free because it was an ARC, and they didn't want to sell it, so they just had it out and you could take it, and that was The Cove by Claire Rose, which is YA. I don't know if it's thriller or supernatural or both. It has a very, very striking cover, and it's actually going to be released next month, May 2026, and she's just a 17-year-old Lindsay Weinberg has just been kicked out of yet another prep school and exiled to her uncle's farm in the cold, isolated town of Marbury, Maine. And, she's there. Her uncle is gone, and his wife runs a reform camp for troubled teens. Ooh. So there's a disappearance and memory loss. I mean, like, they wake up and somebody's missing and they don't know what happened. They can't remember what happened. So I don't know if there's a supernatural element to it or if it's thriller or what. I'm looking forward to reading that. I'm going to prioritize this because I would like to read it before it comes out so I can offer a timely review. And let's see. I got the rest I paid for. I got The Fiancé Dilemma by Elena Armas. I haven't tried Elena Armas yet, but I thought this might be a good place to start because it's fake relationship. I love fake relationship. So yeah. And let's see, I think that was the only explicitly romance book that I got. I got this book, which doesn't have a cover. It is The Secret Keeper by Kate Morton. It is large print, and I like to have large print books on hand for when my eyes are a little tired. And let's see. So I don't know what it's about because it has no cover, but Kate Morton tends to write these books about sort of thoughtful family stories, frequently dual timeline. I've read other books by her and enjoyed them, so. Speaking of that kind of thing, we also have Lucinda Riley, The Midnight Rose, which is probably something similar. I didn't read the back, I just knew it was a Lucinda Riley. I like her work, and I didn't have this one, so I just grabbed it. Oh yeah, that's right, I did read it a little bit. It has to do, it's dual timeline, and it has to do with the Raj, which was the British Empire in India. I'm trying to figure out what the timeline is. It skips around between 2011 and I think 1921. Yeah, I don't know. I just know I'll probably like it, and I like the cover. It's very pretty. And this is an anthology. I was struggling to come up with the word. It's an anthology. It's a collection of short stories, original stories of post-war love and reunion. They're all set in Grand Central Station. Grand Central. And the introduction is by Kristen Hanna. And we have stories from Melanie Benjamin, Jenna Bloom, Amanda Hodgkinson, Pam Jenoff, Sarah Geo, Sarah McCoy, Catherine McMorris, Allison Richmond, Erica Roebuck, and Karen White. And yeah, I mean, I know at least one of these stories is about a Holocaust survivor who works at the Oyster Bar. And I love the Oyster Bar in a way that's probably slightly irrational. It's a restaurant at Grand Central Station, and I love it so. I don't know why, I just do. And then one nonfiction book called A Voyage Around the Queen by Craig Brown, which is kind of like a pop culture history biography of Queen Elizabeth II. And so that's what I picked up. I think all of those books together were $7. So that was a very successful day going around and getting my little passport stamped and picking up some swag and even some books, which, like I said, I'm going to talk about the library books in a different video. So I hope you enjoyed this quick voyage of discovery with me, and if you did, please like, comment, share, subscribe, or don't. I am not the boss of you, and I hope you have a good day or night.